Number one dangerous thing you're doing that's blocking the law of attraction and stopping you from manifesting the things that you desire into your life. This is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com, and this changed my life, and I know it'll change yours too. So, what if you wanted to get rich and you wanted to make $1 million and you asked me how to do it? And I said, well, I have a friend and my friend is $9 million in debt and he's actually never made more than $2,000 in a month. And right now, he's in his worst financial position in his life. He has no idea how to do it. Why don't you go ask him for advice? You'd be like, what? Or if you wanted to lose 30 pounds. And I said, well, why don't you go ask that person for advice that right now they're eating, it's my friend, they eat McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And right now they're having a lot of health complications with all the food they're eating and they're not exercising. I think they'd be the best person for you to ask advice from. You'd be like, and then I'd be like, why is your mouth moving like that? And you'd be like, well, it doesn't sound like that's the right person I should be getting advice from. So here's the number one way that you block the law of attraction from manifesting the things that you desire in your life. Don't ask advice from people who don't have what you want. Don't get advice from people who don't have what you want, because everybody has advice. It's just most people don't have advice that will actually help you. And I remember when I wanted to do what I do today, right? And that's an absurd thing to say. I'm gonna go on YouTube and all these people from all these countries and inspire them and it'll work out. Everyone's like, you should really go back to college. It might be better for you to get this job over here. It might be better for you to do this over here. I like your idea, but how about this? Because everyone is telling you where they come from. And what happens is the biggest dream killer you're gonna face in your life is you're gonna have a dream, whether it's a soulmate or whether it's to move across the world. I moved across the world. I live in Hawaii now. I used to live in San Diego. I moved across the world. And a lot of people said, here's why that's not a good idea. And what happens if you get there and then it's not what you want it to be? Yeah, but you haven't lived there before, right? So people always have these ideas, and the number one dream killer you're gonna face is when you have a dream and somebody else has an idea about how you should or shouldn't do it and if it's even possible. So notice who you get your advice from. Abraham Maslow, who's the father of modern psychology, considered by many people, he created the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's that little pyramid. My editor will pop it up onto the screen here. And the top of the pyramid of human needs is self-actualization. And he says 1% of the population actually create self-actualization. It means they know who they are, they know what they want, they're living life on their own terms, they're achieving their potential. And he said that the most important characteristic of a self-actualized person is someone who's independent of the opinion of others. Independent of the opinion of others. When you have a vision, when you have a dream, it's not whether your mom or your dad or your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your boss or your friend or Billy or Susie or anyone thinks you can or can't do it, or whether it's a good idea. It's about you fulfilling that innate desire within you. Because believe me, if you have the ability to conjure up the desire, meaning if you have the ability to have the desire in the first place, you also have the ability to realize it. If I had the ability to conjure up a desire to do what I'm doing today, I had the ability to realize it. I doubted myself, I worried, everyone gave me advice, you should go and, if you want to do this different type of stuff, why don't you at least be a yoga instructor? It'll be more sustainable. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to be a yoga instructor. Well, if you want to be an author, why don't you go back to school? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And what happens is we become like pieces of paper blowing in the wind to and fro in every which direction, never with our feet firmly planted on the ground, with our head in the clouds, focused on our dreams. Instead, we're pushed here, you're pushed here, you're pushed there, focus on the people that actually have what you want. And if you don't know any of them, use the internet, use YouTube. Don't take advice from people who are going to tell you, well, you know, that's really hard to do this financial goal. It's really hard to do this dream goal. It's really hard to build a nonprofit. It's really hard to find a relationship that's actually healthy. I don't really know if true love really exists anyways. Don't take advice from those people, because what happens is when you accept somebody else's idea, you consciously accept it, and then it seeps into the treasury of your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is an automatic mechanism that creates your life unconsciously. We're creatures of habit that create our life out of unconscious habit. Well, if you consciously entertain an idea, accept it as true, and give it emotional validity, it seeps into the subconscious and it becomes a way that you are controlled in your life. So if you let somebody else's idea about the economy being too tough, you being too young, you being from a third world country, you not being from America, you being white or black or Asian, or your hair's too long or your hair's too short, or your grades weren't good enough, or here's why all these other people succeeded, and you know the market is really saturated, there's a lot of competition, you know, it seems like a good idea, but you know, it's important to keep your future in mind, and if this doesn't work out, then you know you're gonna be shit out of luck, you know, you've got a family to consider. And then what happens is we start thinking, oh, maybe they're right, and then we get bogged down in fear. And then that fear takes over our energy field, and the vibration that we're in dictates what we attract into our life. So then we attract fear-based experiences in our life. We start to overthink things instead of get into our heart. So don't listen, don't believe it. If you don't have anyone around you that supports you, it's okay. There's so many of us out there in the world. And remember, when somebody says no, you say next. So keep that in mind. When somebody says no, you say next. Just because somebody says no, you say next. You stay focused on your dream, because most people die with their music still inside of them. That's a quote by Wayne Dyer. Most people die with their music still inside of them. You know where the richest place in the world is? It's not America. It's a cemetery. Because most people die with their dreams inside of them. And you will die with your dreams inside of you. You will block the law of attraction if you listen to other people over your heart, over your spirit. God is speaking to you in the form of your desires and your dreams. Embrace it. I know it's scary. I get that it's scary, but that means you're moving in the right direction. So this is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. If you're having fear around that, download my success hypnosis. It's free. It's jakeshypnosis.com down below. You can listen to it every single day. It'll program your unconscious mind for success. Be sure that you press the subscribe button in the corner right there. Comment where in the world you're coming from. I want you to see that there's a global community of people who are out here following their vision and following their dreams. So even if you feel all alone in your city, your town, your community, your family, your friend circle, and people don't get you, it's okay. Everyone doesn't need to get it. You just gotta feel it. You just gotta feel it in your heart. So download my success hypnosis, jakeshypnosis.com down below. Press the subscribe button. See you on the next video. Keep following your heart and your vision.